This is Sybert signing into Kane's Wrath on the map, Tournament Stadium. As the yellow Traveler 59 in the north, he's down one game. He has to take this game to stay in this series. It is unleashed. Returning to the only faction he won a map with off of his opponent in the south, it is going to be as the Green Steel Talons, once again, Green Zero. That is right, Green Zero. He is so adamant on actually sticking with GDI. And actually, it looks like he is going to be just straight up GDI, not actually Steel Talons in this particular matchup, in this particular game. And I don't know if that's a reaction to the Traveler 59, if he's like, hey, well, you know what? You're going to be going for Stasis Chamber first. You're going to be going for those advanced articulators before that refinery. Well, I'm going to be countering with GDI. But we'll have to see exactly what is going to be the choice for Green Zero. As you can see, he's going for a pretty standard opener. And actually, I don't remember where the Tiberium spikes are on this map. There's one right there. I thought there was an additional one up here. I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, I must be thinking of a different map. I don't even know anymore. These maps have changed quite a bit. But it's actually a pretty big map for Unleashed 2 Cross. He's got his, I believe, 5 Disintegrator squads, which is a nice hit squad. You can pick off a Harvester with that, but it's going to be a little bit dicey. You're going to be able to be stopped fairly easily. Green Zero, as you can see, sending out those scouting squads. And we'll have to see Unleashed. Is he going to be able to go ahead and do something interesting? Or is he going to be going for hexalamine? Is he going to be going for those cultists? Or is he going to be, once again, like in game number 1, making shock troopers an actual viable unit? I really hope for, because I would prefer to see something a little bit unusual, something a little bit wonky, something a little bit fun, rather than hexalamine and cultists just turning someone's forces against them. Because that is just really lame to play against, personally. That's what I think. But you know what? Some players make it work. Some players make it happen. And of course, this kill with that Buzzer Squad is going to be denying that scout for Green Zero. However, he's already got at least one in the base. He had 3 scouting squads. Not sure what happened to the other one. Grabbing that structure right there. And, oh, the MCV! Oh, that was so close. Green Zero almost took so much damage. Unleashed is like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be picking my battles. I'm going to be going for that Tiberium Spike, and there's going to be the sell-off immediately of that barracks for that extra Rifleman squad. The Tiberium Spike will go down. Unleashed has chosen wisely, and then he's going to be getting out of there. He's like, hey, guys, let's just pack up and move right along. The sell-off of those barracks are going to be getting some nice Rifleman squads out for Green Zero, but actually, this is really nice by Unleashed. He's like, hey, you know what? I don't even care, man. I did my damage. I took out your spike. I'm going to be moving on. The fast expand for Green Zero being a little bit disrupted there, but he didn't take too much damage to his MCV, which was really a great thing for Green Zero. It looks like we do indeed have 6 and 2. One of these are going to be transferred up to the north. As you can see, Green Zero beginning that right there. And the APC Engineer is going to be moving out once again for Green Zero, and of course he doesn't have those mobile repair transports. He's probably sad about that, but yeah, you know, it's what is meant to be. Scouting squad, is he going to make it away? The buzzer is so close. Those Rifleman squads dare not turn around, but never mind, they do, and they get, of course, completely annihilated. More Disintegrator squads. Green Zero actually likely sees this, and so he's actually going to be knowing that, more infantry focus out of Unleashed. The expansion is going to be happening. He's actually going for dual portal, which actually Green Zero is probably aware of this. So are we going to be seeing just mass APC as the response? It looks like we've got at least 2 APCs, no Rifleman squads inside of them. He has kept this barracks around, which means he could draft a couple of extra Rifleman squads if need be. Going to be throwing down some foxholes, which is a nice move for sure by Green Zero. However, it looks like this APC did take a little bit of damage there. Not too big of a deal, as it's still alive, and with most of its life still intact. This Buzzer Squad's going to be hopping inside of that building. The Disintegrator Squads, it's only 3 of them. There should be some more around here somewhere. That is actually going to be where the army is. That is way too many for me to count on the fly, like 7, 8, or even up to 10, as Unleashed is going to be looking to expand to the south there. And it looks like they're going to be cutting the map in half along that a ways-ish. However, Unleashed is going to be heading up in the north, this giant stadium blocking half of the screen. But Unleashed is going to be moving in. Is he going to be getting stopped by Green Zero? Unleashed has to do some damage. He's invested so much into this attack. Is he going to be able to do anything? The APCs are getting caught out of position. Mines do go down, eliminating some of these Disintegrators, but he can't really... He doesn't have to do anything else. He doesn't have to do anything else at all. As you can see, Disintegrator is going to be sneaking and getting the kill on one of these Harvesters, and the other Harvesters are just going to be getting mostly eliminated. However, they do just eliminate all of those Disintegrators. These attacks going horribly, horribly awry for Unleashed. He's just not able to really deal with the defense by Green Zero. The mass APCs with those mines definitely able to deal with the Disintegrators quite readily, as we do have them move in. Unleashed doing untold amounts of damage to basically nothing, as he's been dealing with the foxholes, dealing with those watchtowers. Is he actually going to be getting the kill on any of these Harvesters? This is what he needs to be killing. Desperately needs to do some damage with these squads. He invested so much into that attack. He has done hardly no damage, and Green Zero holds it off spectacularly. Once again, the expand in the south is a little bit delayed in comparison to Green Zero's expansion, as we do have the tier 3 going down for Green Zero. Unleashed, is he going to be on similar tech? Not entirely sure. He doesn't even have the nerf center. It goes down right there, as we do have the rifleman squad and no engineer. Yeah, no engineer out of Green Zero. However, in the north, we do have just a building going to be getting attacked, taking a little bit of damage there. However, these buzzer squads are desperately trying to kill any engineers that pop out of there. The buzzer hive getting thrown down to try to protect that spike, but unfortunately for Unleashed, he doesn't know that he doesn't actually need to protect that spike, because it's actually in no danger of being caught. The blue Tiberium is going to be long distance harvested, and the APC does get eliminated right there. The second one may very well escape to the corner of the map, but the Harvester is going to be pulling away and going up north, where they will scout out that Unleashed is actually going to be going for that blue Tiberium, or the green Tiberium as well. APCs, looks like it's just going to be that AP ammo really doing the damage there. No engineers, no rocket squads, and no rifleman squads really to do that extra damage. The scout off for Green Zero going to be revealing pretty much the exact same thing that he saw last time. There's not a whole lot else that has happened. The Disintegrator squads and Gunwalkers going to be moving in. No Seeker tanks are going to be mixed in here. I almost said Dev tanks, but he's Traveler 59. Unfortunately for Unleashed, that just won't quite do. The lightning spike in the middle, a nice touch there. Going to be holding off any more Harvesters that try to go in there. Nice pick up there. Unleashed going to be killing off 2 of the Harvesters of Green Zero, denying that economy from actually being harvested. The mines possibly going down here and doing some damage, although it's not a whole lot. The grab of that technology assembler, Green Zero, that is what he was doing with that APC, so a good grab by Green Zero, going to be throwing down that barracks, desperately trying to get out some engineers, but the buzzer squad, the buzzer hive gets thrown down, and Unleashed does not get the capture of his technology assembler. However, the Mechapedes are now out on the field, and they are going to be helping Unleashed deal with this army. However, Hammerheads are out as well, and actually, what in the world? Not something you see very often. Zone heads are actually out. Green Zero is going to have to kite these Gunwalkers just perfectly. One Zone Trooper Hammerhead. That's the wrong button. There we go. Whip around like that and reveal this battle, which is actually happening. Losing one of those Zone heads is so rough for Green Zero to have to deal with. Looks like it's just going to be a building battle of some degree. The Gunwalkers all but eliminated. One does remain, but the AP ammo APCs are going to be able to eliminate that without too much trouble. The MCV going to be moving in for that third base, but Shock Troopers, man, advanced articulators are actually kind of hilarious. Like, look at how fast those Disintegrators and the Shock Troopers moved, staying ahead of the Mechapedes, as Unleashed is going for another offensive. However, Green Zero is like, okay, you're going to kill my essentially non-existent main base. Good for you. But of course, the real damage will be when Unleashed swings up here and starts taking on some of these tech structures that could reset Green Zero, but he's got the Marv out. He's going to be going for Zone Troopers. He's going to be going for Engineers inside of that Marv to help him deal with this army. APC is still moving out across the map. The big attack from Green Zero. I'm not actually sure if he has anything inside of these APCs. It doesn't really look like it. He does have the Hammerheads as well, or the Zone Heads rather. However, with these Gunwalkers here, and the Mechapedes could actually go ahead and get some of that anti-air. Actually, 2 plasma missile batteries as well. Unleashed going to be moving in, looking to trap this APC army. Are they actually going to be able to do anything? I'm not entirely sure that they'll actually be able to do a whole lot against this army. The Hammerheads flying through the stadium, they don't even care. However, the APCs do care quite a bit more because they cannot fly. They're like, hey, don't leave us behind. We're getting torn up out here. As the Gunwalker is going to be able to slowly... Oh, Green Zero is going to be giving pause here, just holding Oh, for essentially no reason. It will be spelling death for both of these APCs, as one does go down. The second one may escape. No, it does not. Unleashed catches up. Oh, man, Green Zero going to be losing, and the teleport forward, the Prodigy is out on the field, which means we could be seeing some area mind control. I'm not actually sure if he blinked forward. No, it doesn't look like he indeed did. We could be seeing some hexalamine as well, as we do have the Warp Chasm getting thrown down by Unleashed. He's got tons of gunwalkers in the middle of the map, but is it going to be enough to stop the Marv, which is presently being chased by those two engineers? Green Zero packs them inside, and then is going to be moving them on out. Ooh, actually two Shatterers could be doing great amounts of damage to these Mechapeds. The splash damage can just essentially completely lock down a Mechapede in one go, but of course you have to actually get the shots off. As you can see, two shots essentially resetting that Mechapede. However, here's going to be the Eradicator Hexapod. Looks like we don't have any Shock Troopers. Never mind, as they all do pop out. It could just be 3 Shock Troopers. There's the blink forward. Where is it going to be? I don't actually know where he blinked forward to. Over here in the middle of the map, we do have those these Shatterers are going to be getting pulled back here, as they do take damage there. The Marv getting pressed forward, and he is going to be looking to Marvis that field. However, with 2 Shock Troopers in here, a third one being added on, that will give anti-air capabilities to this Hexapod, and it is going to be forcing these Hammerheads to stay out of range. Those Zone Troopers are going to be super nice. Green Zero with the Zone Troopers inside of the Marv is going to be able to deal with these Mechapedes without too much trouble. Will lose the Shatterer there, which is a nice pickup for Unleashed. Going to be calling in the Icor Seed, going to be bringing himself some more income, but really he does need to go ahead and expand. He does need to go ahead and actually get some real harvesting on this field before Green Zero just marvists it all, as the Corruptor is going to be constantly healing this Eradicator Hexapod, and hopefully these Zone Troopers inside of the Hammerheads are actually able to do something, but the Gunwalkers are just going to be able to force them away. Green Zero desperately trying to pull back. He doesn't have anything here in support. Really nothing at all. He's got the Hammerheads, but that hardly even counts. However, those Railguns actually cleaning up a number of those Gunwalkers. Only one does escape. However, the Hammerhead's going to be coming in here, and suddenly the Gunwalkers aren't here to provide support, which means these Zone Troopers will be able to eliminate at least one of the Shock Trooper squads. No, not quite. The Shock Troopers actually taking a ton of damage from these Zone Troopers. Rifleman squad in the north being a very, very minor nuisance there. 2 Corruptors, it looks like. Maybe 3. It's hard to actually tell. Yeah, that is actually going to be 3 Corruptors there, as only one is going to be getting eliminated. There's the EMP, but unfortunately for Green Zero, the Marv does go down. The Hammerheads are going to be rolling in here at the last second here. Need to go ahead and turn their sights on that Eradicator Hexapod. Never mind, they could go for the Corruptors to see if they can lock those down, but they did get phased as well. Wow, just suddenly saving all of his units there. Unleashed, able to deal with that attack with that Marv quite readily. The Predator tanks out on the field. Where is Tech Lab? The Railguns are likely being researched right at this moment. No Firehawks just yet. It is just going to be those Hammerheads. And in the north, more Zone Troopers going to be sitting around waiting to be picked up by those Hammerheads. And the Railguns have finished for the Predator tanks. However, this Eradicator Hexapod is going to be able to get relatively close before taking too much damage. The Corruptors behind the Eradicator Hexapod are going to be healing it constantly, and staying out of range of that Sonic Emitter is a great move for Unleashed. Green Zero might just have to pull back. He might just have to center his defense around these Sonic Emitters, trying to get an additional one up. Oh man, this is going to be a lot of trouble if these Predator tanks get grabbed. A nice swing in here by Green Zero, going to be going for the flank, eliminated all 3 of those Corruptors, and then suddenly, without any support, this Eradicator Hexapod could be very, very vulnerable. An additional Marv is going to be getting packed up and moved along inside of here. 2 more Zone Troopers are going to be heading into that Marv, and 2 Engineers as well, that same composition. However, Unleashed has been able to establish his 3rd base. Could go ahead and start long-distance harvesting that blue once it gets a little bit more substance to it. There's going to be the blink back. And no Corruptors are here. That's actually kind of unusual not to see like a million Corruptors just waiting to heal up that Hexapod, because that is typically what you end up seeing with Traveler 59. But we do have Gravity Stabilizer is indeed thrown down. Shock Troopers are here. And man, Green Zero with these APC Engineer combos doing a great job of sneaking around, being super annoying. But is it enough to actually stop Unleashed? However, this may be enough if he's able to snipe down enough of these power plants. Swing in here, take out an additional power plant. Although Unleashed is going to be selling off that refinery, restoring power to his buildings, Green Zero needs to make sure that he doesn't lose too many of these hammerheads, especially if they have zone troopers, which I can't really tell unless I actually click on them properly, which it looks like they all do have zone troopers, so those are some very expensive hammerheads. Shock troopers getting eliminated there, which actually they do. Those harvesters do pretty good damage to the shock troopers. Thought they would be able to tank a bit more than that. However, the Marv is going to be moving in. Now he does indeed have support. And is that going to be shockwave artillery firing off again? I thought I heard it, but I guess I did not. However, the Predator tanks could be getting crushed here as the Eradicator Hexpod is going to be moving in here to get locked down. The Marv does get EMP'd by the Annihilator tripod, desperately trying to pull something out of here. Unleashed is going to be able to lock down that Marv without too much trouble. 2 of the Predator tanks do go down. 3 more do still stand, but the hammerheads can't get quite close enough to support their buddies. There's going to be the shockwave artillery. It fires off right there, but the Eradicator Hexapod teleports away. A great move there by Unleashed, and Green Zero is actually going to be possibly losing another Marv. It goes down. Oh, Green Zero losing that Marv. I'm trying not to yell too much so that my neighbors don't hate me, because they're so much closer than they used to be. I live in an apartment now, and it's actually kind of late at night. This series is going a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. But man, Unleashed taking down that Marv with that EMP. And the clutch teleport back. Some people hate the teleport, but it's when it's well executed like that, you're just like, ah, great move, Unleashed. Great move. But looks like we do indeed have that blue Tiberium there. Green Zero, he actually doesn't have a whole lot left. After sort of losing that army, he only had about 4 to 6 Predator tanks, and he was able to do some nice damage. However, he hasn't quite been able to eliminate the army of Unleashed. The Eradicator Hexapod, the Shock Troopers as well, but also the Corruptors, which, I mean, if they were with the army, they'd be more of a threat. Although it looks like we do indeed have 4 Storm Riders. Oh, the counterattack. Unleashed. You are a fiend. Going to be going in for the attack there. Might actually be able to claim one more Harvester. No, the APCs are going to be a bit too close for comfort. Could go ahead and blink away, make sure he doesn't take any damage. No, he does not. Green Zero taking a little bit of damage there. It looks like Unleashed was able to pick up maybe 1 kill, although he does not have EMP grenades just yet. But the armory has been built, and likely EMP grenades is being researched right as we speak. Green Zero doesn't really bother getting anything else, hasn't been building too much pit bulls, doesn't need the mortars, and he doesn't know about the Storm Riders, at least not yet, which means there's no reason to really build too much anti-air, but suddenly, oh, this MCV needs to deploy. The Storm Riders are going to be heading in. They kill off one of the Hammerheads. Oh, this is so much damage output. This is so much money spent by Green Zero. His MCV is still on the move. He can't build any anti-air. The Harvester does go down. A second one will be getting focused as well. And Storm Riders can tank a fair bit of damage. This is so many Shock Troopers. And Invisible Corruptors. I don't know what's up with that, but Corruptors that are not existing. A nice pickup here is killing a couple of these Harvesters, but they don't have any Tiberium in them, which means they're not actually any money lost for Green Zero. However, the Slingshot is going to be rolling up these. Oh, those Storm Riders can deal with the Slingshots somewhat readily. They're not super good at dealing with the Slingshots, but they're not super bad either. The Corruptors finally catching up with this now elite Eradicator Hexapod. And oh, grabbing one of those Predator tanks. It looks like it may have been an area mind control as well. Okay, yeah, it was an area mind control, grabbing all but that one Predator tank. However, that Mech Pete is there to go ahead and secure that base. So many Shock Troopers. Green Zero suddenly up against the ropes. He's suddenly under a ton of pressure here, as Unleashed is looking to close out this game. The Eradicator Hexapod on the right side moving in. There's not a whole lot here for Unleashed to have to deal with in terms of actually straight up armor to tank the damage while the DPS actually deals some. In the north, the Shock Troopers going to be moving in. They do a fair amount of damage in these great numbers. However, the Eradicator Hexapod could be moving in at the same time. It is indeed. This flank attack from Unleashed is going to be absolutely brutal in the middle of the map. Those railgun Predator tanks are going to be getting eliminated. However, Green Zero has kind of established himself on the left side. I mean, technically, he's got some buildings over there to keep himself in this game, but is he actually going to be able to deal with this Eradicator Hexapod? Where are going to be the EMP grenades? Where are they actually? He does have the upgrade there. They do fire off, and they do lock down the Eradicator Hexapod. The Corruptor is going to be marching forward to their doom. They're desperately trying to kill off these Grenadiers. However, it looks like they are going to be getting eliminated. And now stuck behind enemy lines with the repeat EMPs. Green Zero, oh no! He may be able to eliminate the Eradicator Hexapod, but is he going to be losing his MCV? The Shock Troopers are going to be moving in. A great counterattack here by Unleashed. And Green Zero, oh! Unleashed blinks away, and on the other side of the map, Green Zero has been defeated. In that one moment, the entire game changed. It was like, well, alright, Green Zero is about to lose his MCV, but he's going to take down that Eradicator Hexapod. Unleashed doesn't have that much left. As long as Green Zero can deal with the Shock Troopers, he might be able to win this game, and then suddenly, the Eradicator Hexapod got blinked away. Just teleported, gone. Green Zero didn't get the kill. And at that moment, he was like, well, I am out. Game number 4 goes to Unleashed, which means we will be seeing an ace match, which I am mostly happy about because A, it's an ace match, which means one more game, and B, we get to see another map. So I don't know what we're going to be on next, but overall, relatively even economic game. 10,000 credits over the course of a 20-minute game, and actually it's fairly spread out throughout the entire thing. So, I mean, that's not really too big of a difference at all. So, really, it did come down to those attacks, the counterattacks, and Unleashed able to just keep that Eradicator Hexapod alive. He was teleporting around the map, using those mind control abilities just to help himself a little bit more. But, of course, Green Zero with those engineers doing some great work there. But in the end, Unleashed able to take the win on game number 4. Game number 5 is coming right up. Which takes us to one of the flattest maps in the pack. It is Tournament Savannah. And spawning on the left side of the map, we have as the green Steel Talons. You know him, he is Green Zero. And on the right side of the map as the purple Traveler 59, it is going to be Unleashed. Tying up the score with some fantastic play in that previous game, making this best of 5. Truly a best of 5, and what do I mean by that? I mean they're going to an ace matches. We do have the Stasis Chamber first. Before that, Refinery, the Disintegrator Squads. Is it going to be 5? Probably. This is looking like the same way that Unleashed opened in those other games that he played. Traveler 59, Green Zero going to be going for the spike in the south. Going to be going for the spike in the north as well. I'm assuming that that is what Unleashed is going to be doing. Yes, it is indeed. While in the south, we do have a nice scouting squad by Green Zero going to be running across the map. And of course, as you can see, this map is very flat. There's hardly any terrain variation. I think there is somewhere. I thought there was some terrain, like little rocks and stuff. I guess there isn't really. But yeah, actually, this map might be entirely a flat plain. That is actually kind of crazy. It's kind of hard to tell with the clouds, but it looks like in the north we do have the 5 Disintegrator Squad opening of Unleashed. One of them did take a little bit of damage from Green Zero's Rifleman squads, but we do have the Warp Spheres going to be moving out, and Unleashed going to be having to deal with this Wolverine straight out of the gate from Green Zero. Is he going to be able to do enough damage? No! Oh my gosh, suddenly this entire attack has gone so well for Unleashed. A fully veteran status there on that one. I don't even know what to say other than that Green Zero is absolutely screwed if he loses this Harvester, and he does. So rough for Green Zero. He cleans up all the squads. Green Zero has been defeated. And that's it. Unleashed, taken game number 5 with a spectacular opener, and the Wolverine stood no chance. Green Zero just could not hold off that attack. In 2 minutes and 21 seconds, Bike Rush would be proud of a game that fast, of that much of a cheese out of Unleashed. But that will do it for game number 5. Green Zero dropping out of the new map tournament. Unleashed will advance to the finals. I know Green Zero covered the other semifinal, Bravo versus Bonus. I don't actually know who won that, but you can go ahead and check that out on his channel. And of course, If you want to see the finals, he should be covering those as well. If he doesn't, I will. I may also be covering some other games. I might just do one random game on each of the remaining maps, because I know we have Twisted Rift, and I think there's 2 or 3 other ones that we haven't seen yet. And I really want to see a game on Twisted Rift. So I may very well go ahead and give those a cast in the next couple of days, but that will do it. So big congratulations to Unleashed. He has made it to the finals. Some people are not going to like game number 5, but that is how competitive gaming works. And even if it's not professional gaming, these 2 players very competitive, and that will lock up this series. I've been trying to stay quiet for my neighbors, and they'll be very happy to find out that I'm about to shut up. But that will do it for this series. Thank you very much for watching. Wonky Wonky Games. This is Sybert signing out.